Hey, welcome to this podcast where the truth is released to inspire you to find your voice, bring out the gold within you, and help you reach your full potential to roar out loud in the world around you. I'm your host, Mary Street. This podcast is where we believe in turning up the volume on life's practical tips, impart insightful wisdom, as well as share life stories of triumph, resilience, and passion. Get ready to amplify your life and ignite your courage. This is Roar Out Loud. Hey guys, welcome back to the Roar Out Loud podcast. Recently, I just had a couple of our interns on the podcast with me, and we were talking about dating, all things dating. And today I've got Allie, my personal assistant, on here, and she's single, and you are, well, let me let you introduce yourself.
Yeah, I am Allie. I'm from Scotland, and I am 34. Had to think about that.
Yes, 34 years old, and you're still single.
I'm still single.
Any guys out there listening, she's still single. So guys, we're going to be carrying on with that conversation because I think it's valuable that you're single, but you're older. And you're older than these
Thanks
guys.
Yeah,
you're welcome. You're older than our interns.
Yeah.
And you've got more life experience in navigating this season. We did a podcast on this.
Yeah, we've done a few
together. But I want to tackle today some of the questions that came up, some of the things that came out of that conversation. I want to tackle that in this podcast.
Yeah.
It's a follow-up, part 2. So keep your ears on and tune in because this is going to be a good one. So, Allie, I'm going to have you talk to some of these things. Like, we're going to just have a conversation around some of the stuff that came out in the last podcast. Because you actually are behind the scenes on a lot of these podcasts.
Yes.
All of them, really. And you hear everything.
Yeah.
And you definitely, you take notes and you pick up on things. So what were some of the things that were rolling around in your mind that you want to address when it comes to the whole dating thing and some of the things that came out in our last conversation with the interns? Because you know them just as well as I do. You're working behind the scenes with the interns on our team. And that was great to hear their heart. It was great to hear their heart in the process, where their heart's at with dating. But let's talk to some of the things that they were addressing.
Yeah, it's interesting the things that they're expressing and the questions that they have, because it's questions that I have. And I'm like, oh, that's still a thing. Like, that thought doesn't go away. The thought of pursuit, that was one of the big things that they were sharing about, the lack of pursuit from men.
Yeah.
And it fascinates me because it's something that has frustrated me.
Yeah.
And it's just interesting hearing their frustrations on it as well, because it's valid. And I was chewing on it and thinking about, okay, where's that coming from? It's not like girls don't want to be pursued.
No, they do. They absolutely
do.
want
Their
to be.
heart desires that. When there's a lack of that, girls then feel the need to take control.
Yeah.
And that, just calling it what it is, you're taking control. You're maybe a bit insecure, like, okay, if I don't do this, it's not going to happen. And then stepping out and like, okay, here's my number. Like, throwing it out there, or making yourself really, really available, or chasing a guy who's maybe not even that interested to start with.
Or feeling like you got to dress super flimsy, sexy, or
And
whatever. Let your boobs hang out of your shirt practically. All cleavage things showing.
Yes.
I mean, like, the girls oftentimes will feel that way because that's how you get a guy's attention. And it's true. Guys are attracted to the physical. But I really believe the kind of girl that a guy deeply desires is one that is, wow, she's going to make a good wife. She's going to make a good mother.
Yes, the marrying kind.
What are those?
Yes.
Those attributes. I mean, guys like to have a good time with the partying kind.
Oh, yeah.
The partying thing, they're like, yeah, that's a freebie for me right there.
Exactly. But it's that instant gratification. And we've talked about that before.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I can access that. I've got access to that right now. I can have that. But then it fizzles out very quickly because there's no sustainability there. Yeah. There's no pursuit. It's like, oh, you kind of just gave it all up. So I'm like, I'm bored.
Yeah.
I think guys are very much need to be stimulated. You know what I mean? Mentally, they need to be challenged. They need to be, okay, actually, how do I get this?
Well, God made, I believe, guys to be like the hunters.
Oh, yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. Like, hunters. Men love to hunt.
Most men.
Most men.
But now this goes back to one of the things that the intern said after the fact when we recorded was so many guys are into this like almost like being more feminine than masculine.
Yeah.
Whereas they've not gotten in touch with that realm of themselves. Like they're meant to be hunters. Yeah. I do believe inherently God put that in men to pursue women.
Oh, I fully agree with that.
However, I don't believe in this day and age that not all guys obviously have had that mentorship in their life.
I would agree with that. And in my opinion, from what I've learned and what I've seen and what the Lord has shown me, men are meant to be protectors of women. And a lot of guys don't really understand that. It's like, no, well, what about me? You know what I mean? Like, I didn't have X, Y, and Z. So, like, I don't even know how to
No one protected me.
No one protected me. Like, I've been exposed to things. Like, I don't know how to pursue. So she can just come to me. That's how that's going to work. And it's like, well, that's not actually the way the Lord designed you. And thinking about just the situations that some men have found themselves in with a lack of a father. I mean, that's the biggest problem. Like, I would say in a generation, like, there's a lack of fathers stepping up, being role models, teaching their sons how to be men, how to take care of a woman and, like, pursue her and pursue her heart and actually, what does she need? Yeah. You know what I mean? Actually putting yourself on the back burner, because you guys were talking about it on a podcast that you and Peter did recently. How can you be a selfless lover? You know what I mean? Are you selfless or are you selfish? You know, and it's there's a whole topic around that in itself. And I just want to say this too. If that was your circumstance where you didn't have a father in the home, your mom was really, really strong and powerful, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like, we really commend strong single moms, because you had to adapt, you had to play both the mother and the father role, but you can't play both because you're a woman. Like, you were never designed to play the man's role. So in that, like, okay, if there's guys growing up that don't know how to do these things, okay, own it. I didn't have that opportunity. I'm going to then take charge of that and be like, okay, how do I pursue a woman? How do I pursue her heart? What does it look like to take care of her? And what does it look like to actually be invested in a relationship and not be selfish about it?
And one of our interns, Anessa, she actually spoke to that, how it's so important to find the mentors.
Yes.
Because you can't just stand up and take charge without knowing, how do I do that? So it's like the mentors are so needed. We need men in society.
We need fathers
to really rise up and be fathers, both to the females and to the males.
Yeah.
Because many females, they don't even know how to receive that love.
Yeah.
Because they've never had it from their fathers. I mean, I was one of them.
Yeah, you know that firsthand.
I know that firsthand. I do not know what it's like, and I'll never know what it's like to climb into a physical father's lap. I've never had that.
Yeah.
Ever. The only thing I have is my spiritual father.
Yeah.
When I close my eyes and I picture sitting in his lap and his arms around me. Many women don't know that. And so they don't know how to fully receive that love. You know, they've never had a father show them, this is how you should be treated. Chivalry does exist.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I love that even in our family, like my husband Peter, he'll open the doors for his daughters.
Yeah.
And he opens the doors for me. And he's teaching our son Luke, hey, open the door for women.
Yeah. And I've seen him doing that, and it's so lovely, because, like, I've seen him do that, and then Luke's ready to walk right through, and it's like, he's like, no, come back. Like, that's not what men do. And he's like, oh. And then watching him stand there and wait, and I can see that that's changing something in him, because, that's hard, because he's a kid and he's learning how to do that. It's just, what breaks my heart is a lot of kids don't see that, you know, and it's in those little moments of, actually no, like, we honour women, we respect women, and even at birthday parties when there's been kids over, it's like, no, boys, the women get to go first. And you see the boys like, oh, you know,
but you see Luke waiting in the background because he knows,
because it's like been a process of learning, actually, no, you're a godly man. Like, a godly man protects women and lets them go first and serves, you know, and is selfless. Like,
and we need men to rise up in society. And
I think too, like, if that's been your experience, you're not a victim to that.
No.
You know what I mean? Just because that's been your circumstances growing up, I never had that, change it. You know, like, it's your responsibility to step into that and actually change that.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't have this. Who do I know in my sphere who can pour into me, who can actually teach me these things?
That's right.
Who's doing it well, who's succeeding in that area. No one's going to be perfect.
So good.
You know, and I just have to say that no one's perfect, but it's leaning into the people who are actually they're succeeding and they're actually doing well, and they do have healthy family, they have healthy relationships. And just going on that subject as well, you don't have to be a biological father to have these attributes.
It's good. That's really good. Yeah.
You can be a single man who knows how to pursue. And I want to say this too, because I was in a dating relationship last year and he actually pursued me pretty well. You know, I look back to the things that he did, and Anessa was saying on the last episode about, oh, like bringing you flowers, and you know what I'm saying? And that, I'm like, he did those things, you know, like actually knowing in that moment, oh, actually her heart is hurting, how can I make it a little bit better? Yeah. And it was spontaneous, and like that really moved me, because I'm like, oh, that was really intentional. So it's being intentional and taking care of her heart. Okay, what is she like knowing the person that you're pursuing, that you're dating, that you're engaged to, that you're married to. It doesn't just stop when you're dating, folks. Just want to say that, guys.
Amen.
And women too. If your man has stopped, like, have a conversation about it. Like, no, actually, why do we not pursue each other anymore?
Right. Yeah. Yeah, and I want to speak to the whole thing of pursuing. So some guys, they feel like they get sidelined because they actually do show up and they pursue. And they pursue hard, and then after a while, the relationship fizzles out. Let's talk about our inner strength, our inner self. Sometimes guys don't know how to govern themselves well. Neither do women. Yeah. And so in a relationship, oftentimes you can be like, wow, they pursued me and this and that, and maybe they did it well. But then you're not showing up healthy. Yeah. And you've got to go after health.
You've got to still be growing. Yeah. You know, you've got to still be aware of the flaws that you have, the insecurities, the things that are going on in your life and in your heart that you're like, I'm still not doing well in that area.
And not just be aware of it, but own it.
Own it and pursue the growth.
Pursue the change. Yeah. Pursue the change, pursue the growth in it, and have open communication in your relationship and say, hey, these are the areas that I recognize that I'm weak in and I need growth, you know, and I'm working on it.
Yeah, and it's a journey too. It's being aware. There could be things that come up, you're like, oh, that's actually not a good trait that you have. Like, especially when you're dating someone that you're seeing things and you're like, because you see things through a different lens, because you're like, you're in a closer relationship than what they would be with their friends. So you're seeing things that maybe friends wouldn't see, and you're like, actually, that's not super healthy. They might not even be aware of it, but it's like, okay, what did they do with that? They're like, no, it's fine. And there's some things that could be like a major red flag to you, and it's there's like red flags, there's amber flags, there's green flags. Amber flags are kind of like, all right, okay, that's an issue, but what are you doing about it? A red flag is something that comes up that they're not acknowledging, not willing to receive, not willing to be like, oh, you know what, I know that's there. Like an amber flag is like, okay, I know that it's there and I'm working on it. Like, I want to get rid of it. A red flag is like danger. They don't even want to deal with that.
Yeah, like I've never heard that color code before.
Oh yeah. Like,
where'd you get that?
I got it from another podcast.
That's funny.
It's one of the things that I was listening to a podcast on dating. They were talking about it, and I'm like, it was so good, because I'm like, there are things that come up, and even Judah mentioned it about the whole grace thing. Yeah. I'm like, because there needs to be grace in all relationships of like, okay, this is where I'm at. Okay, you made a mistake there. You faltered. Even like, I was talking to one of my housemates about something she did today, and I was like, no, like, there's grace there for that, like, because we're not perfect. No. You know, nope. And it's something...
We never will be.
We never will be, sadly. I know I've said that before. Because my heart
never be perfect.
We'll never be perfect. My heart is so for excellence. Yeah. But excellence is not perfection, and it means that you're going to fall a lot. You know what I mean? Because we're human. We're not perfect. And even in that, it's like, okay, amber flag, this happened. Okay, own it. I made a mistake. I'm working on it.
And then let's move on.
Yeah, and it's like, who are you speaking to about that? Who are you going to for help? Like, how are you growing in that area?
How are you being held accountable?
Yeah, not just like, okay, I've got this issue and I'm working on it. Like, how are you working on it? Like, what's your active steps to doing that?
That's good. Yeah, I agree with that, Allie. You got to have those active steps to really grow, and you've got to go after, like, what do I really want? What do I expect in this? And you've got to not have, in the midst of it all, unrealistic expectations. We talked a little bit about that with the girls, or I talked a little bit about that with our interns. You got to have that reality, like, okay, this is unrealistic, this is realistic. How do you navigate that? What would you say?
Yeah, I think that's fascinating as well, because we as humans sometimes have these dreams and desires of what something's going to look like, and these glorious ideals, and we often forget we're actually dealing with a imperfect human.
And we'll always be. We're never going to be perfect until we get to heaven.
Yeah. So like talking about unmet expectations, that's real. Like, okay, I've got a list of things that I want.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the Lord's best for me? You know, is this something that can be changed? You know, so it's like working on ourselves as well. Okay, these are the things that I would like. That person may be completely different that you are pursuing, that you're dating, and it's known that that's okay. And like we're talking about, having grace for flaws and for failures, but not to the point where it's like, okay, this is actually a major problem here.
Right. And then also like in that area where they're leaning in, they're actually doing the things, but maybe they're not doing it like what you expect them to. And all of a sudden you know, sometimes you can look at that, oh, that's a red flag, or that wasn't on my list, or that's not this, or that's not that. When reality is you didn't communicate well.
Yes, that's exactly what I was going to say.
You need to just communicate better.
Yeah.
And just tell them like, hey, when you do this, I love it. When you do this, I don't like it. It's that way in marriage too. In every area of marriage, like, hey, you know, communication is so important. It's like, hey, I love when you do this. I really don't like it when you do this. Or like, you know, Judah mentioned in the last podcast, you know, she doesn't like flowers. Whereas I and Anessa absolutely love flowers, right? Flowers to some women don't mean anything. So when a guy brings flowers and all of a sudden the girl's like, oh, I didn't want that. They just die anyway. Well, did you communicate that?
Yeah, or I don't want those flowers.
Or I didn't want those flowers. So those are not my favorite flowers.
Yes.
Did you ever communicate what your favorite flowers were? A guy cannot read a girl's mind.
Can you just say that again?
A husband cannot read his wife's mind. Like, guys can't read our minds. We need to speak truth, to speak up, to speak what we desire, and be avid people of communication in our relationships.
Yeah, communication is so important. Like, so important. It's actually talking about the issues going on internally, talking about your expectations. Like, you know, actually, I love that you bought me flowers. I actually hate those kind of flowers. You know what I mean? Because for me, there's certain kind of flowers I like. There's other ones I can't stand because I'm like, sometimes my allergies flare up, you know, and it's like I start sneezing and wheezing and eyes watering.
It's all about how you say it.
It's all about your tone, your tact.
Because you can be like, I really hate those flowers.
You know, and
or you can be like, you know what, hun, I love that you bought me flowers.
Yes.
Those flowers actually give me allergies, or you know, they're not my favorite, or I really don't love that color, but your heart behind it was amazing.
Yes.
So it's all about how you communicate.
Oh, delivery is so important as well, because it's just like, I don't want those. I don't like those. Like,
and that just sounds like entitlement.
It sounds like entitlement. And it's one of those things too, like, you don't know the effort that it took for him to do that.
Or the money.
Or the money.
All the stuff attached to
There's
it.
a whole other realm there that you're not seeing, because you're just thinking about you and being selfish. Like, I don't like that.
Yeah. And I would dare to say there are girls out there, a lot of girls that are selfish.
Yes.
In relationship, and it's ridiculous. There's also guys out there that are selfish in relationship, and you got to get over self.
Yeah, you got to go over self and be aware that you're dealing with another human. Like, I keep saying that because it's like, you're in relationship. The Lord did not design us to do life alone. Like, we're supposed to be in relationship and community and friendship, all of those things, because this doesn't just relate to like a dating relationship. Any relationship, there's got to be communication there. Like, hey, how well do you know the people that you're in relationship with? Like, it's lovely to do things for people, and again, it's kind of learning how the other person thinks, how they're wired, what they like, what they don't like. That's just the beauty of relationship.
Yeah, and when you communicate well, it's saying, hey, I respect you enough to listen to you.
Yes.
And to listen to your heart.
Yes.
It's so important.
Yeah. We need to be doing that more. And I say need because I think it is important. Like, that's what pursuing relationship looks like as well. It's like actually taking the time, hey, like, what's going on with you? Like, are you doing good? Like, what do you need? And sometimes you don't even know what you need. Yeah. And that's okay. But being open enough to hear, okay, like, you're behaving like this, kind of getting past the lens that you're seeing through of like, okay, I'm feeling hurt right now. They're doing this, they're doing that. but actually putting that aside, like, what's going on there? Why are you behaving like that? Like, what do you need from me right now? Like, is there anything I can do to help you? Do you need to talk through something, process? I think as well, it's learning how to verbally communicate better. Like, that's so important. What words you're using, how you're using them, how you're saying things.
Yeah. But also without babying the other person.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think about, you know, in past relationship, you know, or past seasons of my life where sometimes I felt like I was babying the other person. And the reality is they just needed to snap out of what they were. And so sometimes that place of communication doesn't always look like, how are you? How's your heart? It's like, hey, you need to grow up. You know, you need to, you know, and there's a time and a place for stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's how you what's the delivery like in it. Sometimes it needs to be quick and swift, and other times it's like, hey.
Short and stabby.
Yeah, short and stabby is one of the things you like to say.
Yeah.
Sometimes it needs to be like that because people need a jolt.
Yeah.
And sometimes in relationship and dating relationships, that's real.
Yeah, I think too, it totally depends on the situation as well.
Absolutely.
Because sometimes it's like, they're saying things to you and you're like, what are you talking about? Like, that never even happened. And then they're like, what? And you're like, no, like, this is what happened. Other people were there. You know what I mean? I have witnesses to verify how that communication went down.
Yes, and I would say they don't always see it that way because of the lens that they look out of. And that is a topic for another day.
That absolutely is.
So we're going to end it. We're going to end it with that. That was a good conversation. That was really good. And I know that there are many of you guys out there that want to hear more conversations like this. And if you're listening, I want you to write your questions in. Send us your questions. Ask us things. We would love to tackle topics that you would desire to have answered. Ask us the hard questions. We're here for it. So guys, write your questions in and let's keep going. There's so much more to this, and we're going to keep going after it. Thanks for tuning in. Hey, thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed this podcast, hit subscribe, leave a review, and share it with your friends and family. Always remember, your voice matters. Your dreams are worth pursuing. And you, my friend, have the power to roar out loud.